Hey there, I'm Katsumi, and this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So, this is a very massive breaking sound in the spirit today, and like a lock being snapped open is kind of the vibe I'm getting, okay? And right now, the word coming through is Genesis. Ooh, that kind of swinged open. Also, I have like a rogue card on the side, okay? But yeah, something to do with this Genesis, okay? Like something is forming, okay? And you are starting a brand new story that your ancestors only dreamed of, okay? So let's find out what other messages are coming through. So right now you're in some sort of respectful mindset, okay? Maybe this is you or someone onlooking you and your destination that's on the arrival, okay? Something to do with differential, courteous, and admiring. So someone's almost like I heard, okay, so perhaps it's some sort of cultural bow of like your significance and importance in the world. Maybe someone is bowing because of they admire how you elevated yourself, okay? Maybe karate might be of significance, martial arts might be of significance here in the energies as well. Something to do with really just mastering your inner self, okay? Something to do with limitations, okay, that held you back generations, okay? Lineage or lineage might be of significance. Something about you finally meeting a force that cannot contain you, okay? You start up in a position of the sun where you are very like much in your clarity, okay? It's like you now have this feeling or aura that feels very like clean and clear, okay, is what I'm hearing. Something to do with your heart chakra, okay? I'm hearing something along the lines of you just having a lot of joy from the outcomes of your life at this point in time. Something to do with you just looking back with a sense of nostalgia, perhaps, okay? Because of this massive breakthrough in the spirit, okay? In the spiritual realm is what I'm hearing as well. Maybe you're romanticizing something, okay? Idolizing something about the past, perhaps. Something to do with just having some sort of chain breaking moment, okay? Is what I'm feeling with that. Because you almost have a sense of respect for your past self is what I'm getting there, okay? Ace of Swords stands really strong in this energy for some reason within your landscape. It feels as though you're cutting through something with a strong swift of clarity, okay? Like you're having some sort of breakthrough because of some sort of realization that you've made it far more than those who have walked before you is what I'm hearing, okay? And now it's so interesting to see the Queen of Swords because it's like you're standing so tall in your energy that it's like you're holding this sword and you can take a breather, you can take a seat, okay? But you're doing all of this with a lot of gusto, a lot of force, okay, is what I'm hearing. You're just kind of like admiring your sword because you have a lot of empathy for what it's done for you, okay? You intuitively know that you've held some sort of sword, spiritual sword in your hand, and you're like, this was the weapon that carried me through. This was the thing that got me from A to B. That's kind of the vibe I'm hearing from you, okay? Something to do with you taking command, you being a captain of your life, you working with those around you to really solidify, to liberate yourself, your people, your family, okay? To liberate and release these curses from your lineage is what I'm hearing. From your lineage. Lineage? I'm not sure how I should pronounce that. But you've been doing investigation as well in the background. Oh, let me actually take this one out too. Investigation in the background. Something to do with opportunities, growth, okay? I'm hearing the words temptation and illusions, okay? So that might have happened in the past where you've witnessed your lineage going through illusions of growth. Illusions, I'm hearing delusions of grandeur is what I heard for some reason. Something to do with you respect that there was not enough mature emotion in the background behind the scenes that could create a balance so strong, okay, to release from a lot of this this rooted nature, okay? Something to do with individuals being rooted so deeply into the ground that the tree of life itself of the entire family almost cultivated off of some sort of I'm hearing like like some sort of damaged soil is what I'm hearing. Something to do with that. I'm not sure why I'm getting that imagery, but that's the vibe I'm getting. It almost is like poisoning the tree from the very roots that it's growing from, okay? And it's something to do with you having that clarity to come at life in a certain capacity where you realize you have to cut, almost like the head of the snake, cut down the tree to regrow it again, but in fresher soil is kind of what I'm hearing. It's like you have discernment and respect for the ground itself, but you understand that this would not be the circumstance it is today if you did not like uproot the ground and give it the true love it deserved from the very beginning, is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with you taking command of just really bringing that soil back to life, okay? And maybe you're not uprooting the tree, but you're really treating it, okay? It's like you're putting pesticide on it, is what I'm kind of getting, right? Something to do with some sort of limitations, almost like holding back your generation, okay? Something to do with people expected you to repeat the same cycles, and it has something to do with this lack of struggle, okay? This lack and the struggle mindset, something to do with you understood it from the very beginning. When you were brought into the situation, you understood the deceit, you understood the hidden motives, okay? And you were secretly rewriting some sort of code into your own destiny. Something to do with your sheer force or will is very strong in this position as well. And like you are the first in your line, in your lineage, to step up, step into this frequency of absolute freedom and kind of like create this breakthrough, okay? I'm hearing rippling effects coming through in the energies here. I'm also kind of hearing that this wasn't easy. This wasn't an easy fight by no means, okay? Something to do with you having to have quite a bit of resilience, okay? But nonetheless, through your resilience, you come into this very strong position of the King of Pentacles, okay? Because of that, I'm hearing almost like your resilience allowed you to manifest abundance within your reality, within your environment. The external pressures around you started to stabilize, okay? It started to stabilize so much so that people started to rely on you, rely on your wisdom, rely on your resources, your wealth, your leadership capabilities, okay? You're bringing in quite a bit of resources to your kingdom is what I'm hearing because of your strategy, because of your transition to heal, transition to move on and recover, okay? I'm also hearing something to do with people supporting you and gathering, okay? Ace of Pentacles, because you planted the seeds of prosperity from the very beginning. Once you saw what was ruined or what could be fixed, you decided to take the lead is what I'm hearing, okay? And I'm also hearing that you're crafting this weapon over time to be almost like indestructible is what I'm hearing. To be an indestructible force. Something that's going to be sending shock waves through your entire circle, okay? People are going to be witnessing your diligence. They're going to be witnessing your commitment, okay? I'm also hearing something along the lines with you making some big transformation that is almost going to put people in this very like, they're going to want to kind of bond themselves to you. I do get a little bit of envy, but it's very much behind the scenes. Maybe one of your other family members envisioned themselves being in the position that you are today and able in order to help the family or help the situation that the family was in is kind of what I'm hearing. Or maybe you're working with someone else who has that same desire as you do, okay? I'm feeling someone very strong in the energies. They're grounded in their youth, but there's like a lot of potential to grow from what you are cultivating today. I'm also hearing with this magician in your final outcome, something to do with you just inspiring people around you, okay? Your focus, your determination to manifest more for your reality, manifest more for your family, your loved ones. It's really been able to transform how they see the circumstances that they're in, okay? Kind of reminds me of that experiment with the, you know, when scientists put like bugs in a jar and they're just like, oh, you know, once you kind of put the lid on it, you know, they can't jump or fly any higher kind of thing. But then when the lid was lifted, you were the one to jump out of it because you knew it was the escape plan, okay? And when you were able to escape, you looked back and you took the people that were unable to uplift themselves from that jar. You helped them figure it out, like, hey, you can do it, okay? When they saw you do it, they were like following suit, is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with hiding your true self and projection. Something to do with as you were traversing this energy, perhaps you felt like you couldn't truly be your most authentic self. It's almost like fake it till you make it vibes, kind of what I'm getting. It's like you have self worth, you understand who you are, but it's just certain circumstances had to almost like, it almost put you in a mindset of disguise where you almost had to distrust certain situations, people, or things because you knew deep down inside. I don't know why I heard the word noggin, okay? That might be of significance. Something deep down inside, you knew that people might perhaps even judge you, your circumstances, or what you've been through, where you came from, okay, is what I'm hearing. But you are the breakthrough, okay? You are sending shockwaves at this very point in time. Something to do with your communication and your confidence is very strong in the energies as well, okay? And I'm hearing that you've been investing in communication, which has allowed you to get to this point in time, okay? Something to do with your communication being very warm, okay, very insightful, and it makes people very curious about you. It's almost as though people would not know if they looked at you what you've been through, is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with, it almost feels very deceitful or deceptive, okay? Perhaps you fear that people would be able to unravel this aspect of you, but nonetheless, because you are embracing the new you, it's almost as though you're letting go of the old doubts of who you were, because you are no longer that individual, okay? It's like your doubts can rest in the quiet glow now because you have stability, because you're building a legacy for your people, okay? I'm also hearing something to do with some sort of opportunity coming in for you for some reason, okay? Might resonate with some of you. But yes, I'm also hearing, ooh, focus, impact, and precision. So you're also having a very well aimed blow. Okay, it's gonna be worth 100 strikes. I don't know why I heard 100,000 strikes. Okay, but you know exactly where you need to apply that force because you are manifesting something very beautiful in the. I'm hearing the foreground. Okay, something very groundbreaking for your people. Okay, you're creating a new story. You're manifesting a new story. Okay, there's going to be something about true riches lie not in accounts, but will that reigns in greed. Okay, so I'm hearing something along the lines of you are stepping into some prosperous energy, especially with that King of Pentacles in your environment and the Ace of Pentacles in you planting those seeds of prosperity along with the Magician. Something to do with you just having to be mindful of your self-worth, okay, the luxury and reward that's coming in for you, but almost like be smart about your investments is what I'm hearing, okay? Something to do with having to reflect and invest on it rather than constantly, it feels like there is some sort of shadow work that needs to be made with resources, material resources. So perhaps you might know what that means, but that's kind of the energy I'm getting there. There might be some debts that might need to be settled. Okay, I heard scores that might need to be settled and some debts that might need to be settled. Okay, something to do as well with a shining facade. That makes a lot of sense. I'm hearing something to do with materialism. Okay, something to do with things being concealed with a fragile core. Okay, so I'm hearing almost as though you don't want to almost like sugarcoat a reality or create some sort of illusion because of the way you want something to present itself. I'm hearing as you go about your life in your most authentic and genuine self, that's what's really going to serve you going forward. Having that self-worth and understanding that what you've acquired is a beautiful thing in this reality, in this physical vessel, that's really going to allow you to keep propelling and keep committing to what it is that you have and grow it further, okay? Something to do with also just being wary of temptations that seem to be too perfect as well might resonate with you, okay? People might come out of the woodworks and have some sort of desire to take what it is that you have acquired. I did get some sort of envy, jealousy bonds, perhaps from a family member. I'm hearing that people are going to be calling upon you, okay, for your resources. It's important to set the ground, okay, early so that they don't, I'm hearing siphon your resources or take advantage of what it is that you've acquired, okay? Something to do with your wealth. And also one step at a time, okay? Distractions is the enemy of ascent. So there's going to be a lot of things coming out of the woodwork. People talking about bills, people talking about their car needs a repair. Maybe, things need to be done in the house, stuff like that. Something to do with you just needing to require a sense of, I'm hearing like focus your energy, maintain your flow state, okay? Because that's what's really going to allow you to maintain the momentum that you're having at this point in time. It's really just about maintain the momentum of your manifestation, because if you get distracted, you get sidelined, and you might very well fall off the path of your manifestation because you feel like you need to go back to the past and bring everyone with you. But sometimes there's certain people you might have to let go in order to grow forward, okay? So definitely continue to investigate and research that as you go forth, because there is some sort of distrustworthy energy in the background. So utilize that communication that you have to really just kind of unravel those mysteries going forward when you come across that. So yeah, those are all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If this reading resonated, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment down below. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.